day, people! This is Sharpino here, welcome you guys to week 7 of the PMC League Battles. This week we are taking on the Shinyru Pikachus. Go ahead and check out the coach of the Shinryu Pikachus, link for his channel in the description down below, as well as all the other coaches and analysts for the channel, for the PMC, sorry. I recommend you do go ahead and check them out. Also, if you want to see the team prep that I brought for this week, a link for that will be left in the description as well. So, here we go, we've got Johan here, ready to go here. Best of luck to him. If you guys, like I said, have been keeping up with PMC, I do appreciate it. But, you know, this is going to be kind of crazy. So, as you guys can see on the screen here, this is the team that I hope he's going to... Not that I hope he's going to bring, but I don't think he's going to bring that. Just because, look at his team here, I see Zoomerall, Superior, and the Aerodactyl definitely being a threat, to say the least. But, you know, the Dugtrio could try to be a trapper to try to trap things like, you know, my Dragalge or something like that. So I have to make sure I scout for when the Dugtrio comes in. But also, if we can go ahead and set up rocks against the team there, we can go ahead and try to do some work here against this team here. So let's have a look and see what he's brought here this week. Okay, so there's been a few different, actually there's 3 Pokemon I only got correct. So let me quickly go ahead and just change that up. Let's see, so... brings Dolphin, brings Jimble, doesn't bring the Superior, but he brings that, oh gosh, okay, I'm gonna just, fuck, okay, look at his team here. What Pokemon do I think he's gonna start with? He could start with the Dolphin, or he could start with the Zoomerall. I'm gonna go ahead and start with my Uxie, just so I can go ahead and set up the rocks. If we can set up the rocks, we should be good to go there. So let me quickly go ahead and update the layout. So really, the 3 Pokemon that he's added to his team is the X-Cloud, the Jolteon, and the Goodra. So they're the 3 Pokemon that he's added to the team here. So best of luck to the Dugtrio. I'm going to go ahead and edit this as we go along here. Let's go to edit this as we go along. Dolphin is the first Pokemon. Okay, so I've got a feeling he's going to try to set up his rocks here. So what I might actually do is, I might just actually go ahead and set up the rocks here. Actually, that's probably a bad thing. I probably should have done that. I probably should have just gone ahead. Well, I mean, he's going to set up his rocks either way. I feel like at this point, there's no really point to him actually doing that. So I'm just going ahead and add this here. So the X-Cloud as well. I feel like we're just going to exchange rocks this turn. I feel like really the only thing that's going to happen here in this turn here. So yeah, as I predicted, we actually go ahead and set up the rocks here. So... you know, that was kind of expected. The only issue that's going to be now is the fact that we don't actually have an actual answer for that. So I'm going to go ahead and fire off a knockoff just to see if we can actually go ahead and do some damage to this team here. So we do have the Jolteon there we go. So Jolteon, and then the last Pokemon is the Goodra. It's the last Pokemon. So we just have to keep track of these things. Goodra. GGG Goodra. Okay, so Goodra, there we go. Goodra. Go. Alright, now we've got the layout set up. Now we can actually try to go ahead and just focus a little bit. Okay, so look at Dolphin. His possible set could be Stealth Rock, Rapid Spin, Earthquake, maybe Ice Shard, or some other move like Knockoff. But it depends how we go about it. So actually, we'll both actually go ahead and make some notes as we go along. I think that's always the best way to go about these things. So yeah, we actually go ahead and fire off the Knockoff here, which is nice. We're going for Koostop Berry. And he's going to go ahead and fire for Rapid Spin there, so, you know, he's just trying to make sure that he doesn't... he goes first, I guess, so, you know, Koostop Berry. Okay, so let's go ahead. So, Dolphin has revealed Rapid Spin and Stealth Rock. Always good to make note of these things. Alright, so I feel like now we should go ahead and just keep firing off a Stealth Rock here, because if he just wants to keep going ahead and go for Rapid Spin, that's fine. I'm not really fussed by that, to be honest. The only thing I could possibly do is, I could try to predict something, but we don't want to make any hasty decisions. So at this point, if we can get rid of this Dolphin, there's no way for him to get rid of the rocks. That's the only thing I could say is the good thing about once we get rid of this Dolphin here. My only issue is, what does he plan on doing that could possibly lock me? Now, this is a specially defensive Uxie, so if he wants to try to bring in the X-Cloud, that could be okay. I really don't have an issue with that one. What I should actually do is, I actually should have run into Mega Sableye. That's actually what I should have done, instead of going for Knockoff. But I feel like the Knockoff actually did a little bit more better because we don't know if it's leftovers, we don't know if it's weakness policy or Rocky Helmet, so we actually have to find that out. So what we might actually do is, if we go ahead and set some rocks and he goes ahead and actually lets me get a turn in, what I might actually do is actually go ahead and actually bring in the Mega Sableye here. So This battle's definitely been interesting. My opponent is really taking his time thinking about this. He obviously wants to keep those rocks off the field to make sure that just 1 second. Alright, he's actually going to go ahead and swap. He's going to bring in the zoom rule. So he might actually try to go ahead and fire off a belly drum. Now that worries me just a bit because I know belly drum is definitely something to be worried about. So I'm pretty sure he outspeeds. I'm pretty sure he outspeeds me either way. Just trying to think, what could we do? Because if he fires off a belly drum, that could be a little problematic for us. No, to say the least, it would definitely be very problematic. So what I'm thinking about is what could I possibly do to prevent this? Well, I'm going to fire off a U-turn. My only concern, I mean, I'm pretty sure Zoom will outspeed. We actually outspeed. We're going to go ahead and go for that U-turn. I'm really going to regret this so bad if I didn't go for knockoff. I probably should have read the speed of the zoom rule because I could have gone for knockoff, and if he went for citrus, if he went for the belly drum, that really leaves us in a bad position. So now I'm just debating what could he possibly go for. That's my only concern. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in Sableye, expecting him to go for the belly drum. Because if he goes for belly drum, we can go ahead and fire for a Will-O-Wisp here. So hopefully it won't be too big an issue. He's actually going to go for knockoff himself. So that actually was a perfect turn for us. So we'll go ahead and add a note here. So zoom rule, knockoff. So that was actually a pretty good turn for us because now that was pretty much a free switching for us. So now I'm going to go ahead and Mega Evolve. Now the question is, does he predict me to go for the Will-O-Wisp? That's the only thing here. I could predict that and go for a foul play, but that's not really going to do much. So I'm going to go ahead and just go for the safe Will-O-Wisp here. If he wants to go ahead and stay and try to go for a play rough, that's fine. But you know, we do get the priority Will-O-Wisp here. So we do Mega Evolve. He stays in. We're going to go for a Will-O-Wisp here. That is good. Hopefully he doesn't have anything like a Lumberry or anything. That could be problematic if he does. Will-O-Wisp does go through. He does get the play rough off, and that does a little bit of damage. So not the worst thing to happen to us, but we've greatly crippled the zoom rule there. So we'll go ahead and add play rough. Now the only question is, does it have the because I know it outspeeds. I'm just trying to think, is it in our best interest to keep the Mega Sableye now? Because just thinking what else we could do though, because really the zoom rule can't do much else to us. I'm pretty sure it outspeeds. Unless it's negative speed there. I think actually, let's actually go ahead and swap it to Aromatisse. This could be our opportunity to go ahead and set up the Trick Room. Now the zoom rule is weakened down, what we can do is we can go ahead, bring in the Aromatisse and possibly set up the Trick Room, which would actually work out for us pretty well if we can actually go ahead and get set up. I mean, now that it is negative attack, he just goes straight up for another player off, and that's going to do not too bad damage. But we do get the player off, and we do get extra damage here. So now what I actually think we should do now is we can actually go ahead and just fire off that Trick Room right there. So with the Trick Room now, basically we should be able to do this because a lot of these Pokemon are very fast, as you know. And my Aromatisse and my Dragalge are both quiet in nature. So we can go ahead and set up this Trick Room here. We could definitely be in the works to do the works, if you know what I mean. So this battle's definitely been interesting, just to say, going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But the real question is, what does he plan on doing next? At least we know we can go ahead and go fire off the Trick Room. We do have Pixie Plate on the Aromatisse. The other thing is, well, I think I didn't mention this, the Dragalge does not have Black Sludge, it actually has Draco Plate. And the reason why I put Draco Plate on the Dragalge is because Pokemon like Goodra and the Charizard X, which in fact he did bring both, definitely do stack up against the Dragalge. So obviously, he's going to go ahead and swap now. I'm just thinking, what's he going to go ahead and bring in? He's going to go ahead and bring in his X-Cloud. So that's kind of interesting. So he's going to bring in the X-Cloud. We're going to go ahead and fire off the Trick Room here, and at this point, we're looking pretty good. Now that we've got the Trick Room up, the only thing I could do now is expect him to go for Boom Burst. So I'm just trying to think what we could possibly do here. So I'm going to go ahead and Protect, just to see what this X-Cloud wants to do. I know it's stalling out one turn of Trick Room, but I just want to see what this X-Cloud actually wants to do here. That's the only thing I have. I just want to go ahead and see what this X-Cloud wants to do. If he wants to go ahead and show us he's got a poison move, if he wants to go ahead and show us that he's got something, we can go ahead and just see what he wants to do against us. So We're just waiting for him to go for his turn. We're going to see exactly what this X-Cloud wants to do. What does this X-Cloud want to do? And obviously, depending on give or take his damage, we go ahead, fire for Protect. I know we are burning one-turn Trick Room, but we just want to go ahead and scout. More like he's going to go for the Boom Burst. There we go. So he actually does go ahead and go for the Boom Burst. Now, what I can actually do is I'm going to go ahead and fire off the Moonblast here. Pixie Plate Moonblast. We are quite nature, so this should do the damage against here. So we do get the Moonblast off, and oh my damn, that is a critical hit. Down goes the X-Power. I don't know if that matters. Let me go ahead and quickly count that just quickly, just so we can go ahead and see how much damage. So we're going to quickly go ahead and count that. So let's see. So we'll make a note here. So Aromatisse kills X-Cloud. Now I'm not too sure if that mattered, because we did have let's see. Let's go Mono Attacker. And let's go with the X-Cloud Choice Spec. There we go. Choice Specs. Alright, so, okay, Goodra's in next. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and fire for another Moonblast. I'm pretty sure we should be able to outspeed a Goodra. Now in the Trick Room, we should be able to outspeed a Goodra. I don't know why we didn't just fire it off right away, but, you know, that actually worked out for us. Let me quickly go ahead, and I'm just trying to quickly check out. So let's go with the Pixie Plate. We're going to fire for Moonblast here, and hopefully it's going to do the damage to this Goodra. Oh damn, that does a lot of damage. We're going to see a Sludge Wave probably. Oh, the special attack drop. That actually couldn't matter. He's going to go for the Sludge Bomb here. That's going to do a lot of damage to us, and unfortunately he does get the kill. He get a crit as well, so you know what? I think that's pretty fair. You know, we pretty much exchanged crit for crit there. Now what actually I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and bring in the Sableye, because now Sableye pretty much should be able to take advantage of this Trick Room while we have it. So we do take that Rocks damage, unfortunately, but by doing so, what we can do is we can actually go ahead and fire for Recover to try and actually get our health back up, which would be good for us, because, you know, we can still do a lot with Sableye. It just comes down to, you know, what else we can do against the rest of his team. I do know that it can do work against the Mega Charizard X. Now, I know he probably expects me to bring, like, a special attacking set, or what have you, but at this point, all he's seen is the Will-O-Wisp. So actually, we'll go ahead and add that note into the, and there, so Goodra reveals Sludge Bomb. He's actually going to go ahead and swap, and he's going to swap into the Azumarill again. So Sludge Bomb. Okay, so he's going to take some damage. We're going to go ahead and fire off a Recover here, so that's not too bad for us here. Now the question is, now we know that we can live a player up from here. So I'm just trying to think. Now dimensions return to normal. All right, so what I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to go. Oh yeah, we don't have knockoff on this. Oh crap. Alright, so what I'm actually going to do, I'm just trying to think what's in our best interest. Now that dimensions are back to normal, we don't have our Trick Room set anymore, so unfortunately Dragiargi loses a bit of its playability because now we don't have the player up. But in saying that though, he will outspeed us, so I'm going to possibly just go for the Burn Stall. So I'm going to go ahead and go for fire for Recover. He's going to go ahead and go for the player up. And that's going to do 50 damage, so that's not too bad. We're just going to go ahead and fire for Recover here. And we might just actually Recover Stall out this Azumarill, which actually might work out for us, especially because the Azumarill really can't touch us. The only thing that's going to really sting here is if he actually does get the crit. So at this point, there's no point in us actually going ahead and, I mean, we could just go ahead and go for a Shaznik here, but I want to make sure that Sableye is as healthy as possible when it comes to his Pokemon here. So we got rid of X-Power, so that's, getting rid of the X-Power is definitely a big thing there. Now, like I said, I'm not sure if that crit mattered on us with the Sludge Bomb against the Goodra, especially since we got the special attack drop. But I'm pretty sure if that Goodra is in fact like maximum special attack, I don't think the crit really mattered. But I think maybe our crit, he's actually going to go ahead and swap here, so he's kind of predict us pretty well. He's going to go ahead and bring out Jolteon. That's interesting. I wonder what he's planning to do with the Jolteon here. So he takes a bit of rocks damage there. We're going to go ahead and recover now that we are full health. He's got Air Balloon. Okay, so we know that now. He's got the Air Balloon. So go ahead and add the Jolteon to the list. That's the Jolteon. So I wonder what he could possibly have. I know he doesn't have any fairy type moves. I'm just trying to think. Is he just going to try to go for the special attacking, you know, that thing or what? So I'm just trying. Let me quickly just count quickly while I got the time here. Let me go ahead and quickly count. Now, how much would a Mega Sableye? So Mega Sableye. Let's go. Very utility. And let's go with the Jolteon. Okay, let's go out with all our attacker. Life Orb. Let's see how much a Thunderbolt would do to a Mega Sableye. That would actually do. Oh, okay, now I've got no special defense whatsoever. So that would actually do 60%. So that would do a nice chunk of damage to us. I don't know if it's in our best interest to take that. I'm going to go ahead and swap into Uxie just because I believe with Uxie we can definitely go ahead and take it a little bit better. Only because I know a Thunderbolt doing 60% is going to be a bit of a worry for us, especially with the Sableye, when we're trying to keep it to check out the Azumarill and the Mega Charizard X. So we're going to go ahead and swap, bring in Uxie, who is our special ball here. Now, if he does have something like Shadow Ball or Signal Beam, that can be a little bit problematic, but we'll just see how we go here. So he's going to go straight for the Thunderbolt here. We are max HP, max special defense, and we eat that up like it's nobody's business. So that's actually working out fantastic for us. Now I think what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to fire off a knockoff on this Jolteon because I want to really see what item this Jolteon has. So we'll go ahead and add to the notes here. Let's Thunderbolt. There we go. Alright, so looking at that now, if we can try to get rid of his item, more than likely I think it's Choice Specs, based off that damage, because I mean, for it to do that much damage, it might be just modest with Specs, but I don't know if that's going to really do as much damage as I predicted. So actually, we'll go ahead and quickly check it out. So let's see, Jolteon, okay, against Uxie, max special defense. So let's go 252. Okay, he's actually going to go ahead and swap. Is he predicting us to go for the knockoff? He does actually predict us to go for the knockoff. So he's going to go ahead and bring in the Donphin here. He did predict us to go for Donphin, which is actually a pretty good call from his end. I got a feeling he's going to try to get rid of these rocks. So I think this is in our best interest to go ahead and bring in the Mega Sableye, because if he does get rid of those rocks, that is kind of problematic for us. So I'm predicting him to go ahead and fire off the Rapid Spin to get rid of these rocks here. If we do make the right prediction, that means we get a free swap into Sableye, which actually works out tremendously for us. So in comes the Sableye here. Let's see what he goes for. Does he go for the Rapid Spin? He goes for Earthquake, so he predicted us to swap out, so that was actually pretty good of him to do that. And that does a decent amount of damage, so now I'm thinking what I'm going to do is going to go ahead and fire for Recover, expecting him to predict us to go for the Will-O-Wisp here. So we'll go ahead and fire for Recover here. If he wants to swap back into Azumarill, that's fine. It just gives us a free turn. So he actually predicted us. So that was actually pretty good for Johan to predict us to swap into the Sableye here. Because he expected us to go for Rapid Spin. So I mean, that was a good prediction on his part. And he got some extra chip damage on Sableye here, which is pretty bad. But we do have Recover, so you know, it's actually kind of not bad for us. The only thing I could say is, if we can actually swap into Krookodile, if he does this again, because more than likely he'll try to get us to lock ourselves into something here. But we do have the Choice Scarf Jolly set on the Krookodiles, so we should be able to do some work against this team here. Now that the X-Cloud is gone, I'm pretty sure Earthquake should still do some damage to this team here. My only thing is, he's now deciding whether he wants to go off another Earthquake, because he knows Earthquake at this point won't kill. Because looking at that damage, after rocks, that's just under 50%. So unless he scores a crit Earthquake, he won't actually get the kill on us. So really comes down to, does he think he can swap out into Jolteon again to try and lock us into something else? Very interesting battle to say the least. But yeah, as I said, it just comes down to what he personally wants to do against us. He's actually going to fire for another Earthquake here, so that's kind of okay for us. That does from it was 86 to 40. So we go ahead, fire for Recover here, and we bring ourselves back up. I'm going to go ahead and fire off one more Recover, so we can actually go ahead and get ourselves to full up. Now if he swaps to Jolteon, that's fine, because I still have the Sableye here. And if he goes ahead and swaps into Jolteon, we can go ahead and bring in our Scarf Krook, and our Scarf Krook can do some work against this team over here. So it just comes down basically to whether he expects us to go for another Earthquake, if he's going to go for another Earthquake, or if we in fact go for the Recover. So at this point, we're not really doing much here. We're just pretty much doing a giant stall battle over here, which I mean, not the best way to go about a battle, because I don't like stall a lot, but at this point, it's pretty much like a game of chess. I'm just trying to, I'm just bad everywhere. I really hate when I do that, just unexpectedly. So, seeing as how his Earthquakes are doing about roughly 40 to 50 damage each time, if we recover after he Earthquakes again, we bring ourselves back up to full health. He's actually going to go ahead and swap. He's probably going to bring back in the Jolteon, which would be good for us. He's going to bring back in the Azumarill, so this is actually kind of interesting to see where he wants to go with this. So we go ahead, we fire for Recover. He expects us to go for Will-O-Wisp, but we went for the Recover. So this actually works out for us even better, Because now what we can actually do is we can go ahead now and fire for Shadow Sneak, and it should get rid of the Azumarill right here. So we're going to go ahead and fire for Shadow Sneak here, and we should get the kill on this Azumarill. So we go ahead, fire for Shadow Sneak, and down goes the Azumarill. So we'll go ahead and make a note of that. So, you know, Mega Sableye kills Azumarill. So now, what's going to happen now is basically he's probably going to bring back in the Dolphin to pretty much try and scare me out with an Earthquake, which I mean would be good for him. But now he's lost 2 Pokemon. He might actually bring in the Jolteon, so he could bring the Dolphin or the Jolteon. He might try to scare me out with the Jolteon, or he actually might just bring in the Dolphin to kind of just lock up with the Mega Sableye. But if I go for Will-O-Wisp, then Dolphin gets really crippled by that. So he'd have to go ahead and bring in the Jolteon. Alright, so he's going to take that extra rocks damage now, which is good for us here. So now the question is, what does he actually do for us? So we have to keep in mind that he actually does have that air balloon. The air balloon is a bit of a problem. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and fire for Shadow Sneak to predict either him going for Thunderbolt or he might be expecting us to swap. So we're going to go ahead and go for the Shadow Snake here for 2 reasons. One, we can get rid of the air balloon, and 2, basically if we try to go, he goes for a Volt Switch, so I guess he expected us to swap out, which is fine. I mean, I've got no problems with that, so we'll go ahead and make a note of that, that Jolteon has the Volt Switch. So let's see, Volt Switch. So we've seen 2 of his moves so far. Now the question is, what does he want to bring in? Does he want to bring in the Charizard, or does he want to bring in the Dolphin? At this point, once we get a Dolphin, he has no chance, because his Mega Charizard will come in incredibly crippled. And if we go for Foul Play, we pretty much do a lot of damage to the Charizard here. He's going to go ahead and bring up the Goodra. Now, I'm pretty sure a Shadow Sneak from this range should, keyword, should get the kill on the Goodra. That is the key word. So I'm going to go ahead and fire for Shadow Sneak, and let's just hope that Goodra has no defense whatsoever. Shadow Sneak will in fact get the kill, and it doesn't. And he's going to get the Gooey, so that really doesn't have any impact on us. He's going to go ahead and just fire for Draco Meteor, and this Draco Meteor is going to hurt like a bitch. And it's probably going to get a kill on us. So yeah, there we go. He gets another crit. I don't think the crit mattered. I'm pretty sure the crit would actually kill, so Goodra kills Mega Sableye. And then I forgot to put that Goodra kills the Romantics. Alright, so now that we know that, I think we're good to go ahead and bring in a Krookodile, because now, with Krookodile coming in now, we do our speed because of Choice Scarf. I think we can actually go ahead and start firing off some good old-fashioned Moxie boosting Earthquakes, which I think will definitely do the work against this team here. So, I'm pretty sure we should outspeed the Jolteon, even though it is incredibly fast. But I think Jolly plus Scarf should be able to outspeed the Jolteon. So this actually works out for us pretty well. Now if he swaps to Charizard, that's fine, but the only thing is he has to Mega. So if he gets 1 free turn of Charizard, I guess that's fine. But we outspeed, once he Megas, then I go for the Earthquake, and that's it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to fire for an Earthquake. We are Choice Scarf, so really we shouldn't have any issues with this team here now that we've got the Krookodile here good to go. So unfortunately we've lost 2 Pokemon so far, the Romantics and the Mega Sableye. I don't think the crit Draco Meteor mattered. I'm pretty sure that Goodra is max special attack, which is why he felt confident enough that he could live 1 attack and then go ahead and just fire off that. Now he's just debating on whether he wants to go ahead and bring in the Charizard now to predict the Earthquake. He's going to go ahead and swap, more likely bring in the Charizard. He's going to bring in the Dolphin, so more likely that that Goodra will die on rocks when it comes in. Now I'm pretty sure an Earthquake should do some damage against this Dolphin here. That does about a good amount of damage. Now he might actually try to get rid of these rocks now, which is a bit of an issue for us. But in doing so, he allows us to go ahead and just get the Moxie boost for our Krookodile. So we go ahead, fire off an Earthquake here. He's probably going to go for the Rapid Spin. There we go, he gets rid of the Rapid Spin there. So, I mean, that's good for him, but unfortunately for him, he gets another crit. What's with these crits right here? Alright, so now we're going to go ahead, fire off an Earthquake, and at this point I'm pretty sure that these Earthquakes should now get the kill. He's now going to swap, he's going to probably bring in the Charizard. There we go, he's going to bring the Charizard here. Now he's not going to take any rocks damage. Now, here's my thing that I have here. Does he actually live an Earthquake from a Krookodile Choice Scarf? That's my only concern here. So, We're going to go ahead and fire an Earthquake. He has to Mega Evolve right here. That is the rules of the PMC. So I think he played that really smart because he actually played around the fact that, you know, he got the Rapid Spin off. And now he brings in the Mega Charizard. So the question is, does an Earthquake kill a Charizard X? I'm pretty sure it doesn't because we're not adamant. We are jolly. But if he goes for Dragon Dance, will he be able to outspeed a Choice Scarf Crocodile? Because I'm pretty sure. Let me just quickly check that for a second. Let me check it. Charizard's base speed. Well, Mega Charizard's base speed is 100, so he would actually outspeed us. However, if he gets the Dragon Dance off, I'm pretty sure he'll outspeed us. Now, the thing is, if he goes for Dragon Rage, you know, that's fine. We should be able to take care of that without an issue, because now his Pokemon are all pretty much weakened. Talonflame might be able to take it from here, so he's going to go ahead and Mega Evolve. If he does go for Dragon Dance, that's fine. We've got Earthquake, but we have Talonflame as a backup if we really needed it to. So he Mega Evolves, we go for the Earthquake with DR Speed as I predicted here. He's got 3 crits so far. Crit back would actually be pretty nice. And we do get super effective hit, and down goes the Mega Charizard. So at this point, it does look like the Moxie boosting Krookodile will in fact get the kill on all these Pokemon over here. Even though he doesn't have rocks, pretty sure this does actually just win us the game here. And it's pretty much the same as what happened in week 5, where we went ahead and we actually got the kills with Choice Scarf Crocodile when he had the pink, when Misty had the Pangoro, the Torkoal, and the I can't remember what the last Pokemon was, but either way, I mean that was all just part of it. So at this point, I feel like we should have this match under wraps because I mean he had to Mega Evolve, Earthquake got the kill, didn't even need a crit, so you know, irrelevant at this point. Now, like I said, the only concern I have, I'm pretty sure Jolteon should still be able to be outsped. I mean, Jolteon is pretty fast, like holy shit. You can base 130, and we have base 92 with the Choice Scarf, so I don't know if that is enough to get the outspeed, but we'll go ahead and find out anyways. We're going to go ahead and fire for an Earthquake here. We do get the Moxie boost, so let's go ahead. We do outspeed the Jolteon. We're going to go ahead and fire an Earthquake, and like I said, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we will in fact get the win with Giant. We get ourselves a crit, there we go. Irrelevant like the other crits, but now I think we pretty much just win it from here. So a good game to the Shinryu Pikachus here. Choice Scarf Crocodile definitely coming in clutch FTW once again. That is why it's a mascot, you know. Hey. So all that's left now is the Goodra and the Dolphin, and pretty much, like I said, I really thought he probably should have just let the rocks go, because at that point, oh, he's going to go for head, go for Ice Shard. This should not actually kill us. I didn't think it would. I don't even think a crit would have killed us at that point. So we're going to go ahead and fire for another Earthquake here, and the Dolphin's going to go down. Fantastic. Good job to the Crocodile here. The Sydney Crocodiles mascot comes in for the win. Yeah! I always like it like that. And then finally the Goodra's going to come in, and the Goodra's pretty much going to fall for an Earthquake, pretty much like the rest of his team right here. So always nice to have a clutch Crocodile. We didn't even need Talonflame or anything. That's the beauty of this. Everyone looks at my team and always worries about the Talonflame, but really, and that's what I love about League Battles. It's just that, you know, you take into account so many threats they have in the team, but, you know, it didn't really need to go there. So, I mean, it worked out for us anyway. So best of, good game to the Shinyru Pikachus there. Even though he had got the rock set up, we still played around it for the fact that, you know, our other Pokemon works well under pressure. And that brings us now to 3 wins, I believe, in the PMC there. So we are now currently standing at 3 to 4. Next week we take on the Riolus. I can't remember what the team name of it is. Let me quickly go ahead and just check that up just quickly, just a tad. Channel. Let's see here. We are going up against the Baltimore Riolus next week. So stay tuned next week for that Wi-Fi battle there. Stay tuned for the team prep as well. And until the next time I see you guys, stay safe, stay sharp, and I'll catch you guys all next time. Later!